which is taking that class, rolling right into an emergency medical technician class, which is another 120 hours of education plus some clinical time. We already have clinical contracts in place with Munson Healthcare and MMR. So we're set for clinical locations. We've got to nail down some final details tonight, and then we'll get the paperwork submitted to the state for the inspection and all that other good stuff.
So hopefully sometime in January, we're
We're
hoping.
aiming for January, but the state's kind of slow on inspection, so it may push just a little. It should still start when there's snow on the ground.
Thank you. Thank you all. That's a big deal getting that thing, finally making a training center, getting it started. That's a huge relief.
So that'll be able to be used not just for us, but for others too?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be able to hold the classes here, medical classes, and for their credits that they have to do.
On the paperwork, I'm gonna have them take it one step farther and have it set up as a continuing education location, which would allow us, I could call any instructor and say, hey, do you have this class? And if they have that class, they can submit it to the state, and in 30 days we can have that class. We don't have to go through additional paperwork to do it.
This makes it a lot nicer for people like me and everybody that needs the continuing ed throughout. I mean, we have 3 years
Yeah, it's,
as EMT, everybody's.
And-
So
MFRs
instead
are
of going
required
to,
to take 15 credits every 3 years. An EMT is required to take 30, and a paramedic is required 45 credits every 3 years.
so hopefully now with all this, we can do all our own training and get other from Maple Grove or whatever here instead of us having to go who knows where just to make sure we have the credits.
Yeah, you give up enough of your time. You don't need to be traveling. Yeah.
Since I've been here, it's been kind of nice. I've been going to the casino. It's a whole day thing, but I get like 9 credits. And I'd rather do that than go on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night and all over the place, you know.
Yeah,
So it'll be nice.
I was doing that. We were all over
Yeah,
Leon, Calva,
yeah,
Steve.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay, so we had border review tonight. Everything went well. We acted on 3 petitions. We will be starting on all our sales studies and ECFs to start developing and finalizing the 2024 rule. So next month we will set the dates for all the border reviews for 2024. Tim, you got anything?
So the transfer station, I think, is much better than what it used to be with no more LP gas for heat. We'll have to update a few more other things, but I don't know when we'll, Bill thinks his building is shifting now because the door doesn't close. I think it's called frost is pushing it or something, so, but anyhow.
Since we're on this, can I bring that up when we're talking about? Speaking of Bill's thing. Me and Tim were talking about this, and that building's pretty old. Talking about maybe redoing that, making it bigger, bringing it out further, so then you don't have to have that door open, and you can just have a window there. So we can just do what he needs to do.
Well, and it really, it sheds water to the door.
Right.
The
So
roof actually leans on the door, so I was thinking, Tim, yeah, we were all talking.
maybe a spring project or
Replacing that shack.
whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
So I think-
whenever.
And I talked to electrician stuff to try to think of a way to make it as inexpensive to get power also to Joey's little building,
Yeah.
just to have, cause right now we're running an extension cord across the parking lot. I'm having the guys lay a 2x4 down so at least the cars are driving not just directly over a cord. it's working, but we might have to in the spring probably look into either. The electrician made a couple of comments of the power that's there is too much, you'd have to get a transformer and transform it down. Probably isn't enough because it's just enough for the compactor, so we'll have to look into that and see once it, you know. That-
And we didn't wanna transfer wiring through there because you tear up that asphalt right now, you're never gonna get it sealed, tin plows and chipping it up and you're gonna, so we just need an extension cord down, here's a box.
And if we keep the winter we're doing, hasn't been too bad.
No.
But when we get those Saturday mornings that are 0,
Something to warm up.
so.
If the wind would, you know, if the wind would calm down, it wouldn't be so bad. But when that wind come from the north, oh boy.
And the way Bill's got it now is really nice, it'd be even nicer if he can keep his door shut and just reach out a window. So, Christmas lights around the town. I know we talked about it last year and it kinda got sidetracked a little bit, but me personally, I think our Christmas lights that are out on the telephone pole are super out of date. And they have issues with the electrical and who replaces it and photo eyes and GFIs that are tripping and all that kind of stuff. My thought is possibly instead of doing electrical type stuff is possibly getting like banners. Drive through Bear Lake, I believe well, don't drive through Onekama because I think they go quite a bit. They have both, I think. They have lit and banners. So maybe in the future we think, because, I mean, they're pretty spaced out here. And then I believe there's the one way over by Joey's in the corner.
There's a bunch of them. There's 21 to 23 of them that are supposed to be up.
All the way around the lake.
Although they start at 55, they go to Dublin, there's one out by Schneider and 55, they're all over.
They used to go all the way up to
I
the
can show
school
you
and
where all of them are
everything.
at.
They used to.
So some of the electrical outlets that I have seen, I'm not plugging anything into them. And I don't know if, and if they got a photo eye that's way up on top of the pole that makes them come on at night.
Yeah, some
Tied
do,
into
some
the
don't.
photo
What I was
eyes.
gonna suggest is to find out who Brethren has that comes in and does theirs, because it's a company and they take care of all that. Like they come in, they check everything, and they put the stuff up, they bill you, and they're gone. See what I'm saying? So if there's any issues on the poles, they take care of that. So you wouldn't even have to deal with it at all.
They put up the Christmas lights?
Yeah, they come up with a truck.
Well, when I used to work for Amor Sign, I did it in Onekama.
Yeah, there you go.
Onekama, the city of, or town of Onekama, hired Amor Sign.
But they come in, they do it all, and you're done with it, so.
Because they didn't have the equipment to get them up there and.
I mean, I know it sucks. Like,
Well, and the other thing is I plug them in at the transfer station, make sure that they all work. And then if you notice, don't look at it.
Well,
very close,
the
but
thing
one
is,
right out
though-
here, I hang the thing up and then there's 18 bulbs out. I'm like,
Right, and the other thing about, like, with these, most of these newer ones are on GFIs. Plus they got a breaker, so you can't really tell until it's dark
I
outside.
know. I've
Whether the-
already driven through at
Yeah.
night and went up. And you
So-
have to reset the GFI at night.
Yep.
Because if they're not on during the day, because there's no power to them, you
Right.
can't reset it. So I'm climbing a ladder after it gets dark and. So anyhow.
Yeah.
I will do what you guys want. I'm just saying it's getting pretty sketchy.
I guess I would get hold of whoever they use out of Brethren and just to see what it would.
And to replace those type of ornaments, you'll change your mind.
We replaced a bunch of them.
They're pretty expensive. If you wanna update to like what greens and lights and.
Alright, so it sounds like this is not something we're gonna look at this year.
No, cause I'm not taking down what I put up.
Yeah. Alright, we'll look into that.
So I have to look at it a week before Christmas.
No,
But soon
it'll get.
Some have to do in the spring. Tim also brought up a thing, because we were gonna look at the lights, and a lot of those lights that I was putting up on the building for a few years, they're Christmas lights, half of them don't work. They make, and Tim brought this up, and I looked at it, they make, Home Depot has it, an LED strip. And it's got every 6 inches, probably, an LED light, and it's a flat strip. You can leave it up all year round. During the springtime, it can be white, you just have a white accent line all the way around the building.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It can be, at Halloween, you could make them orange. You could, at St. Patrick's Day, you can make them green, controlled by the phone. At Christmas, you can have random colored Christmas lights.
Fourth of
Twinkle if you
July,
want.
you could change.
You put them up and you'd be done with once on this building. Maybe we need to look at just revamping and doing our Christmas decoration. I mean, I've said it in the past, I'm not in favor of having these Christmas lights all over the poles. Because when the power company decides to change a pole, they change that pole, they take our power box with them. It's up to us to repay. And 7 years ago, it was $850 to have one put up on a pole. That's a lot of money in the taxpayers' township for decorations where, you know, my plan was just to decorate this building, the fire building, make this little area here decorated. You know, and if we had enough people in a group, we could even decorate the pavilions around the park. I mean, those decorative structures, but putting up on the poles just, to me, seemed like a waste of money. For the amount of time that it takes to put them up, and then, you know, if those things, like Tim, I think, what we look at, a couple $100 to replace one of those now? And it's just a
Yeah.
lot of money to have that kind of decoration
3 to 7.
Yeah.
Depends on the size.
up for a month, month and a
I think
half.
we were paying $550 a piece for them.
$550 a piece for those little wire canteens and all that, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think there might be a better way to do it, and then that, like I said, that lighting that's always up here, no more running the LEDs, we can run it all the way around this building, up the rakes and everything else, when it's nice and warm in the spring, and then hit your button on your phone and it comes on.
The big
Might be
thing
a way
with,
to do
the
that.
big thing with that, if you have them not on, you'd have to look pretty close to see, they're not like a Christmas light, they don't
Yeah.
stand out.
They're flat.
So
You
they're
can't
off,
tell.
nobody will know that they're up there.
Yeah, they're less than,
They can,
3/4 of an inch wide and paper thin, that's what they are.
there's lots of different ones out there, like you said, there's little square ones that are about a foot apart, but by the time they're lit up, they look like the whole under the eave is lit. You can make them flash, you can make them, this section blink green, that blue, 4th of July color, whatever you want. And some of them even have an app to where they, go to music. Maybe there's some wedding guru that wants their music.
There's a company out of Lincoln that
We'll design something.
does Christmas lights custom.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
I just think we need to look at it. I mean, I know I want it, I want something festive, but it's just, it's getting so hard to do it now with those, the older lights, the expense of the lights, and then pole's not working, pole's not there, or the light's not on the pole anymore. Yeah, I think we need to
You're
separate
standing on a-
between these two
When
buildings.
you're standing on an aluminum ladder, sticking your finger in a socket that doesn't look very good, it's like, Who, I do have to ask, who is the person that the plywood cutouts here that I put out this year? Who made those?
Those
Dave
were,
Kozak.
Those are like, wow.
Well,
Those
these
are-
ones out here,
Yeah.
that was Connie and.
Connie and
Yeah.
Jean
Oh.
Schilling. Yeah, Connie and Jean Schilling. made
That's
those.
some cutting
Heavy
out
duty
and
stuff.
painting and.
Yeah, those are all donated.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And they moved away, they donated those to us. Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyhow, that's all I have.
Okay, management council, looks like every weekend is, someone has it, Christmas Day is rented. Everything else is, hall's running well. Everybody is okay with this brochure? Let it print it, run with it.
It's already done.
Okay, good, we're running with that, look how fast that was, all right, I like
Well, you
it.
can have that.
Oh, thank you. All right, so Parks and Rec,
I don't have anything.
okay, planning,
No.
Nothing? Okay, yeah, it's Christmas time. Zoning, I noticed I only got three new building permits. Actually, one was a demo, 2 new buildings, so, it's slowing down, normal type of winter stuff. Public communication, do we have any? Anybody?
No, there's nothing
Neither?
wrong.
Alright, nothing on unfinished business. Okay, so new business. We need to reappoint, and I need this by individual, and we'll let Karen have a break here, we'll do this one at a time. We need to reappoint the board of review members, they get reappointed every 2 years. They were able to do this meeting, we need to reappoint them before next year. So, I'll make a motion to reappoint Jeff Brock to the board of review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed? Okay. I make a motion to reappoint Richard Taylor to Board of Review.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I make a motion to appoint Bruce Brower to Board of Review.
Second.
Jordan, second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. They do a really great job. 2 of the guys were already trained, so we just got to get 1 more trained up and we'll be good. Contractual tax agreement with this county. So once again, like I said, I assess property, I don't do taxes. The county does. So what this is it's a contractual agreement that we have for the preparation of the taxes that the county does for each municipality. And basically it went up 5%. Went up basically the price of inflation rate. So they increased by 5%. I need a motion to approve the county contractual agreement for tax
I'll
preparation.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There we go. All right, and then, that's mine. There you go. Okay. And then, now this resolution to establish poverty guidelines, once again, every year, the federal guidelines come out for poverty. Nothing has really changed, except for the amounts. And the only thing really the board can decide on this is, we could go higher with the amounts, or we can adapt them as they are. The other thing is, if somebody comes in, if you look at the bottom of the first page, if somebody comes in and is a little bit over 100%, if they're within 1 to 5% over, you can still grant them 100% exemption. If they come in and they're between 6 and 10%, you can give them a 75% exemption. 11 to 15 is a 50% exemption, and 16 to 20%, you can still give them a 25%. Okay, so that is kind of our option to do or not. Out of the 8 townships that I serve, they're all doing that. It's something we did last year. It does work out because if somebody is just barely there, it allows us a little bit of leeway to help people out that are in need. So, does anybody have any questions on this? No? Okay, so this has to be done by a roll call vote. Would you like to do it, or you want me to do it?
Okay.
You can call her out and we'll just answer.
Okay.
Yep.
Mobley,
Yes.
Merrill? Yes. Jason?
Yep.
Jordan?
And then what that does is, I've already removed all the old ones. I will copy those, print those, and you'll have 10 to hand out, at least, or 7 or 10, and I'll give you 1 original copy and give you one. Okay. Where's the rest of it? Did I give you that whole thing?
No, you have it. Merrill. And,
Okay. Where's the rest of that copy that I just gave you? Okay, I'll find it. All right, so I'll make sure those are completed today, so by January 1st, somebody can come get them if they need to. Just sign this when you're done. 12/12, right? All right. I just want to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank y'all for coming and have a wonderful Christmas.
Sorry, Neil, you did make 5 minutes. 23 minutes and 47 seconds.
No, what was the one we had?
So I have, oh, you get the rest of this back. Yep, I will make those.
Sorry, I can only like so much at a time.
She didn't say that, but she see her husband.
Oh, you know what? This,
You said the other day that
it's a copy. Why did it say this is summer tax collection? Do you have the winner? Is it two separate ones? I have to sign? There might be two separate ones.
And I went to Whitehall and changed that. Because I had just, I came back. Your check was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, me. So I did the address, and I told her, I said, they never switched it in my system. Yeah, so I switched it, so you're gonna get your tax bill, and it's gonna have a big sticker on it.